had such a great outing against Drury. 9 innings in a 7-inning scheduled game. You win against Drury. Where does that rank among all of your starts at Jewel?
I mean, I like to treat all of them the same, but obviously with a team that is right down the road from your from your house, it feels really good. I was sort of recruited by them. It was kind of a weird story, in which one of their coaches was like, yeah, I mean, we could see you as an option here, and the other coach was like, well, I don't think so. And for them to kind of say that to my face, you know, you kind of light a fire under a kid, and it felt really, really good to get that win, especially with my dad in the stands. It was the first game that he had gotten to watch me pitch this year in person, and so that was just a really good feeling.
Could you have pitched the 10th inning? Because it was won in the bottom of the ninth when Carpenter got a single. Could you have gone more?
Well, it was kind of funny. In the 6th inning, I'm coming off the field, and you know, I've had this mentality this year in which, you know, last year I was a closer / middle relief / a little bit of a starter. You know, all those different things, and so I come in from the 6th inning, and I'm like, Coach, I got one more in me, and my whole mental set right there was, you know, you are the closer now. Like, this is the time for you to be the closer in this game. And then after the 7th inning, he goes, oh, so you're done now, right? And I go, no, I'm not done. He goes, well, you told me you only had one more. And I was like, I guess that's what I said. But then after the 9th inning, he goes, can you go one more? Because you mentioned to me after the game I'd retired 10 guys in a row, and I was throwing a lot of 1 to 2 pitch at bats, and it was working out really well for me, and I had absolutely planned on going that 10th inning. You know, I was under the, you know, complete mindset of this game is going to be won or lost with me on the mound.
Right. Well, you didn't need to go a 10th because Tyler Carpenter came through with his hit. What were you thinking? Where were you when that ball landed safely and we won the game?
Well, I'll say right when he stepped in the box, I looked at Chase Reddick right next to me, and I go, you know, he has had 4 opportunities this year to win a ball game or go ahead or tie a ball game, and I'd feel really good for Tyler Carpenter right now if he could, you know, come through on this one. Yeah. And, you know, I even told him that after the game. I was like, I just wanted you to come through so bad. And I was sitting there in my spot, you know, 3/4 of the way down the dugout, and right when it landed, you know, I could see the best angle of it going over the center fielder's head. You know, right when it got past him and he reached out and missed it, I sprinted out there and I did everything I could to grab a hold of Ty, and he grabbed a hold of me. He's like, good game, man, good game. And I was like, hell of a hit, man. It was awesome.
Well, you know, you've been here for a long time, and you've had highs and lows, you know, both for yourself and for the team, but that has to be a great feeling.
Absolutely.
Your brother David played here. How are you and David alike, and how are you different?
Well, David got to play shortstop, so he got to hit, and I didn't. But in terms of how we approach the game, he's been in my ear ever since I was a freshman in college, whether I was here or at Avila or wherever. He's always been in my ear. I want to say that, you know, people always talk about how much, you know, pressure they're under, maybe with coach or with their parents or whatever. My biggest pressure point is my brother, because he helped me a lot in the process of getting here whenever I transferred, and it just feels really good whenever I get to pitch like that. And he watched me pitch against Rockhurst whenever I threw the complete game for against them, and it feels just really good, and to allow him to see me pitch and play that well, and the same, you know, logos and everything that he wore. I know he feels a lot of pride in that.
Yeah. I have said on the air a couple of times, with no offense intended at all, but you don't pitch the prettiest games. You're kind of a bulldog out there. Is that a fair assessment?
I do kind of get myself in sticky situations from time to time. I think, but that's a lot of what gave Coach the confidence to allow me to stay in the ball game in those situations, because the last couple of years I've been a relief pitcher, and he's put me in those tough situations, and time again I've shown that I can get out of them. And you know, there have been times obviously that just didn't work out, like my first outing this year, and it feels really good that he waits until there's couple runners on before he sends somebody down to the bullpen. And you could ask Garrison Fields, it doesn't feel good whenever he's warmed up, 7 innings in a row whenever I was pitching against Rockers. He sent somebody down in the first inning.
Yeah.
And so he was warming up the whole game. But, I have different mindsets for different situations, and we've talked about that a lot as a whole pitching staff and as a team, what you got to be like in different situations.
Right.
And, sometimes I feel like I'm just a better pitcher when, it's on the line right there, and I know that this is a win or loss pitch.
Well, and I've also said on the air, and I hope you do take this as a compliment, that your competitiveness is maybe your best skill. Do you think what would you pick? Are you a better competitor or are you a better pitcher?
Well, there's times and places for both of those. I feel like whenever there's runners on, you have to be the competitor. But whenever things are just going your way, it takes a pitcher to make sure that you keep those things going the right way. You have to stick to your scouting report. You have to, I do a scouting report the night before a game. I go over their spray charts, I go over the pitches we throw them, stuff like that. And whenever things are going well, it's easy to get out of that. And so it takes a good pitcher to stay within your scouting report and not change the way you pitch. But whenever there's a guy on second and third and nobody out, you have to find a way to get out, and that's when you just have to compete.
Great answer. Well, best of luck and continued success as this season winds down. It's getting close to the end, and a lot of good baseball to be played. Eric Smith, our guest, and we're back with the first pitch in a moment.